Hello everybody, it's May 22nd, 2017, and I know many of you will be attending the ITG conference coming up soon. I do hope to get back to those conferences because they are always so enjoyable. But this year I'm not going to make it, so I look forward to hearing all about it from many of you, as well as from the International Trumpet Guild journal that comes out and has all the wonderful reports. So haven't put up a video in a while, and there are various reasons for it, but I'm looking forward to putting up some more now. And the first one I want to talk about is what my practice routine has included lately, and I'm still pursuing this less pressure approach to playing because I think that's one of the main things that gets in our way as performers. Many of us, certainly myself included, use more pressure than we would like to, and it affects our endurance and upper register. So here's a routine that I've been working on, and it seems to be helping, and with a minimal amount of effort, which is also very nice. Too often we find it difficult to get the trumpet out of the case because we think we're not getting any better. The thing that really motivates us, I do believe, is the thought process that yes, what we are doing in the practice room is making a difference in our performance. And that is what I'm feeling more positive about these days. I think it's important. I think I just heard an interview with Jim Thompson, the great trumpet teacher and performer. And I think the end of the interview says, never give in and never give up. And for those of us that really are bitten by the bug, so to speak, it's not difficult to live up to that because we don't want to give in and we don't want to give up. And if we give up, then we give in. So it doesn't work either way you look at it. Anyway, I'm going to get back now to the practicing that I have been doing that is making me feel better about my playing. And it's divided into 4 sections, the first part of my routine every day. And the first section is 5 minutes of just lip buzzing. And I start off by flapping the lips, a la Bobby Shoe, not buzzing necessarily, but actually flapping the lips, getting some blood into the lips. And then the second part is buzzing with the lips alone. And I do base that on the way that I feel on any given day, but I always seem to be starting it in the similar fashion. So with apologies that my back is to you, this is the kind of thing that I have been doing. So basically, you make up your own exercises. You just keep recording. My recording device just got messed. Anyway, you keep doing those type of exercises for 5 minutes. And if you feel like your chops are starting to burn out, you're trying to go too high too soon, don't do that. Always try to play from a position of strength into an area of weakness, right? So you're going to be buzzing your lips, and sometimes I'll do this with a finger to make sure my both an upper and lower lip are as much together and perpendicular as possible. Because my lower lip has a tendency to recede as I go higher, so this will help keep the upper and lower lip in line. So that's the first part of my warm-up. The second part of the warm-up is with a mouthpiece. And so I have my mouthpiece here, And what I do on this now, for a long time when I studied with Jimmy Stamp, uh, at least at first, he wasn't showing me his warm-up routine, but finally he did, and I think the reasons for that are perhaps varied and arguable, but he certainly knew what he was doing, and we worked on a lot of music at first, and after a while he started to show me his warm-up. And one thing I noticed is when I hold the mouthpiece like this, I can go pretty high, but the idea of using less pressure was behind the way that Jimmy Stamp recommended you hold the mouthpiece. So I incorporate some of the thinking that I did in the first part of the routine with this part of the routine. And I always try to get good articulation. I mix up slurs and good articulation studies. And I try to remember to keep this in position. And if I start to do this, that's a visual indicator, isn't it? It's like a pressure gauge. You can, as you go higher, if you're seeing some of that, maybe you want to back off a little bit and just do less pressure. And then rest if you need to. But in both of those first studies, you keep the routine going for 5 minutes in each segment. And then the third segment. Here's the third segment. So take the lead pipe out, as Bill Adams' students would have you do, and then I use some of Javier Gonzalez for reference point. You might want to go to Javier Gonzalez's interview that I did with Javier and Bill Bing's Trumpet Talk. But and then remember, he does this exercise where he goes up instead of down, which is a lot more difficult. So I work on that for 5 minutes, and if I try to do too much and it's not right, I can tell because I'm using too much pressure. The whole idea behind this study, I feel, is to get more efficiency in your playing. So that's the third thing that I do, and I keep that up for 5 minutes. And again, if you feel like you're getting tired in the wrong way, there's pressure here instead of working your chops here, then you might want to back off a little bit, but you can keep it going for 5 minutes and make up your own segment of each one of these studies so that maybe you won't do this, but you'll do something else that fits you even better. But use some creative juices in order to create your own studies. Then the final part of my routine is on the trumpet, where I do the Caruso type of studies, and I do incorporate some of the Bing fundamentals from my fundamentals book that I think are very helpful. It all depends really on how my chops are feeling at that point. But I very often go back to the Caruso. All the way up as high as possible. And then maybe I'll do some of the Bing fundamentals, 1A. So I'm not really warmed up yet, and I'm also got some kind of a tremor that's happening. It's an essential tremor, but I'm working on that. So I can still hold the tone steady, but when I first start to warm up, there's a little shake involved. But I don't look at that as anything but, okay, here's another opportunity to overcome some difficulty. And so far, it's been quite manageable. And especially at this point in my career, I do have, I think, 3 gigs a year. I grandfathered into my retirement. And I still look forward to playing the trumpet whenever I have a chance. But now when somebody calls me up for a gig, I usually say, if you promise not to pay me, I'll take the gig. And that's the way it works. And I'm grateful that young players playing better than ever are stepping up to the plate and doing such an amazing job. So that's it for today. After those 4 periods of buzzing the lips alone, buzzing with a mouthpiece, doing the exercises with the lead pipe out of the trumpet, and then following it up with a stamp or a Caruso or Bing or Thompson, you name it. Any of those studies are great. There are so many that should be in your toolkit that I can't even remember them all. And apologies to those names that I missed. So that's it for today. Again, I think maybe even some of the ITG will be streamed, so that would be something to look forward to as well. It's been a while, so I haven't seen you in a while, so I hope you're doing well. And I always enjoy receiving your comments, well, most of the time anyway. Take care and keep blowing. Bye-bye.